Hello, I'm at the Music Empowerment Conference in Atlanta, and I am a Florida girl, and I know all about hurricanes. But we have
You're a Florida girl?
I am.
What part of Florida?
Miami.
Oh, okay, great.
But guess what? The hurricanes are different from the guy that's sitting next to me. We got Hurricane Dave,
Yes.
and it's going to be a great session. Y'all stay tuned with me for a few minutes. Well, hello, welcome.
Hello. Thank you. It's good to be here. Excited.
Awesome. So radio. Let's get into radio.
Yes.
Everybody wants to get on radio.
Right.
Right? So just make it clear and simple and tell them artists, because at Hiphopstreets we deal with independent artists that's in a transition and they're on an independent level and their goal is to actually make it mainstream.
Sure.
And the ideology behind that is when you get mainstream is when you get to the radio, you're mainstream.
Right.
And from your experience of being on mainstream radio, let's make it clear and simple. How do you get on mainstream radio and get your song there?
That's like the $1 million question that gets asked every time I'm on a panel. And I got to be honest with you, the best way to get on the radio is to not worry about getting on the radio. Because in order for you to be big and make it, you need to make it in the streets, either where you're home. That's why I like the name of this, Hiphopstreets. Yeah. Make it in the streets wherever you're at. Work with the digital service providers like Spotify and Pandora. They have different new music shows. Radio stations years ago used to break records. Radio doesn't break records today. And I'm going to cover that on my panel that I'm hosting. A lot of times radio will enhance something that's already bubbling and you'll become a superstar from that. But you got to start someplace else. You will not start at the radio stations like you used to years ago. I used to break a lot of records, but nowadays with conglomerates and corporates owning radio stations, it's very risky for people to take chances. And program directors are just afraid to take chances these days. I wasn't, but a lot of people are.
So I can have $300,000 and it doesn't matter if I brought that to a radio station, my song still may not go to the height that I want it to.
You probably would get arrested for payola. You know, people don't play that because if you get caught on something like that, you're done. So, no, the best way to do is to take that $300,000 and work the streets with it. Do a street campaign, make sure that your stuff is seen, that, find out what they used to do with me a lot of times, because I used to go to the different clubs, is they would invite me to the club and they might pay the DJ who's DJing to play the record when they hear me come in. And the smart thing to do is if you got $300,000, pay the DJ to play the record, get about 300 people, pay them $20 or $50 or whatever you got to pay them. And when the DJ or the influencer who's making the decision comes into the club, they put the record on, people start jamming. The PD thinks, oh, damn, this is popping. They don't even have to know what you did in the background. That's a little free game right there. So you need to be seen and you need to be heard. And that's how you get on.
Well, we're going to transition, and I want to know a little bit more about your consulting firm. But I do, from my personal experience, want to say thank you for what you did and how you turned Birthday Bash and how you made it a home for Atlanta. Yeah. And I'm sure Atlanta appreciates that. Yeah. What you did with Birthday Bash has been commendable, and Hiphopstreets want to thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, when we started, Birthday Bash was already here prior to me getting to Atlanta, but certainly after I got here, we took it from a concert that had speakers literally on the stage and a chain link fence to a real big stage production. They had never put $150,000 into a stage production before. And to be quite honest, I like to say that that's T.I.'s stage, because when T.I. was performing, T.I. said, hey, listen, we need to do it bigger. And I was like, okay, well, cool. And he came with an elaborate design, which was not in our budget. And he came to us and said, listen, you do this, I'll pay half of the cost of production. And that's how Birthday Bash jumped to the next level, which was bananas. And then, of course, the following year, I went to my boss and said, listen, we can't go backwards, right? We can't go back to the basics. And from that standpoint on, he just charged more money or got more sponsors, and we just kept building on the brand to where now Birthday Bash is one of the most important concerts in the country.
It definitely is, and this is Hurricane Dave. He comes and mix it, and he comes and make a big old storm and put it out there. And so now, let's get into why you're here is because you do music business.
Yes.
That's what you do, and that's why you're at the Empowerment Conference. So tell us a little bit about your consulting that's transition.
Yes, I'm consulting. I have a company called Branded Live, and you can go to brandedlive.com to find out a little bit more. And also Branded Live Automations. I fly drones. I do marketing. I do video editing. One of the things that I try to tell people all the time is to have multiple streams of income because nothing is promised. And so when I was working for the radio station, I started learning how to do other things that could complement the radio station, so they can't say, oh, you're distracted doing this or you're distracted doing that. No, this complements what I do. And so as an example, for Birthday Bash, I did all the graphics. While I did all the motion graphics for Birthday Bash. I went to YouTube University, how do you do this? And I learned the program, how to do that. And so that way it was like, okay, well, this guy, he can do more than just one thing. You need to have you need to be multi-purpose type individual if you're going to make it today.
And before a client even inquires about your consulting agency, what are some of the things they should consider?
Well, they need to consider how much they want to spend. You know, you got to have a budget. I don't work for free. I have people sometimes will hit me up and be like, "Hey, man, what's happening? I'm working on this, that." Okay, well, cool. Let me direct you to this, and that, because if you want me to do it, it's going to cost. And that's not like being nasty or nothing like that. That's just business. I got a wife, I got kids, I got to feed my family. And so the wink and the smile, that just doesn't cut it in 2021. Show your money up. Let's get it done. Tell me what you're trying to get done, and we'll make it happen. But you got to pay to play.
So they have to have a budget, and give us one more thing they should consider before reaching out to you.
Know the outcome that you want. Like, it's your brand. At the end of the day, Hiphopstreets, if you come to me and say, well, this is what I'm trying to get done, you need to know what the end result is that you're trying to achieve. I can help you, I can consult you, I can give you some suggestions, but at the end of the day, you ultimately have to make the final decision, and you ultimately should know what you want the end result to look like. That's the only way that I could help you get there. Yeah. Otherwise, I might take you over here when you really want to be over there. So come with an end in mind.
Let us know the Instagram page for your business, and let's get there. You guys get your consultations in and have your budget, because listen, this Hurricane Day, you better have a budget.
Yeah, the best way to find me is at Hurricane Dave. That's what I'm at pretty much all social media, at Hurricane Dave. And I will also say everybody should have a chat bot, and that's a tip on something that I'm planning on launching very soon.
Should have a what?
A chat bot. You're like, what is a chat bot?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to ask that. I'm going to let the whole world know I do not know what that is. Please explain.
No, it's all good. You've probably experienced chat bots before. If you go to any kind of website and do customer service and you type in something and then it comes back, hey now, and then you type in something and something else comes back. So, but I create bot chats, and I do things, something that I'm really excited about. And this is really a little bit more juice than I like to say. I won't say the name of the company that I've developed, but I will tell you that artists who have lots of followers on Instagram don't own those followers. And at any time, we all know Instagram can kick you off and give you the boot. And so I created a program that I'm going to be launching sometime in the next 30 days where we can help you get your followers off of those social media platforms, not to leave, but a copy of it. So that if you want to market to them, like if you got, Hiphopstreets and you got 2 million followers and it's on Instagram, well, one day Instagram might not like something that you put on the post, and they could just shut your page off. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Say you had 10,000 followers or 10 million followers, they just gone. And so my goal is to help you get those followers onto a platform that you own and you can control and you can market to them. Because if you lose those followers, you've lost marketing opportunity, which means you've lost potential revenue. And that's what I'm working on for right now.
Well, you know what? If you guys are not empowered and if you're ready to do music business, this is it. This was the session. We just got a whole crash course on music business and how to build your brand from Hurricane Dave, okay? Lester Pace, I'll see you on another interview.
Right,
we're going to see you on another interview. But Hurricane Dave and Nicole Nare with Hiphopstreets.
Thank you, love. Appreciate it.
Thank you.